Yeah, there is, many of you know the first question, or at least the first question that I asked you was about food service. And the fact that the food service program had been outsourced here some years ago, and we were told it was done for reasons of cost. I suggested at that point, as a member of this body, that when I left the school board in 1989, the food service program was actually receiving more money than it was spending, substantially more, in the millions of dollars. And we had a problem with thinking about why that was no longer the case. That was one issue. But the other issue was nutrition. And the other issue must always be for us nutrition. The position that was taken by a former board, and I do not normally criticize other people's actions in the public context, because Lord knows we have made and will make a number of them ourselves. But I believe that this was not made for the proper reasons. In the school system that we work with, there are a number of these children who the best meal they're going to get is the one they get at school. And in some cases, the only meal they're going to get. We can't play games with that. That's not a budget issue. It cannot be done. We've looked, and I've asked staff initially, how do you bring the food service system back in here? Can we do it? What are the possibilities? The staff of this school system not running a food service program, we don't believe was able to answer that question sufficiently. So what I have done with the support of Rick Sullivan and Melanie Adams was to seek out someone who would help determine and develop exactly what we're talking about. Not something that says, is it more cost efficient? We're not taking that assumption. We're asking the Council of Great City Schools to basically do a study to tell us how to return. Not if it ought to be returned, but how to return it. What the cost factors are. How, not just the cost factors, but what issues can we address as it relates to nutrition for these children? How can we have better offerings? Some of you know that we are working, or this district is presently working, with the Healthy Youth Partnership. And we are in the process of developing a comprehensive plan to try and introduce into as many elementary schools as we can a totally new way for training these children how to deal with nutrition. I'm going to tell you why that's important. We know that educationally these kids perform better if they're better fed. Well, we may not be able at the end of the day to bring food service back in-house. But then we're going to look at this in every way we can. As a result of that, I was given the authority to contract with someone to write up the RFP for this. Not the RFP, but write up the scope of services. And it is an extraordinarily detailed scope of services that has been developed by Dr. William Ribori, PhD at St. Louis University, and a former superintendent of schools. What I told him is that we want to know how to do this, and we want to know how to do it in such a way that given the budget of the school system, given the amount of money that this school system receives for bulk purchases, how can we do this and begin the process of controlling the menu offerings that these children receive? And that is what he has written out. That is what I am here this evening to mention to this community as one of the first things in terms of what we are doing and what the plan is. This is one part of it. We think it is one of the most pivotal parts that we'll deal with. Not just the education, but the nutrition of these kids and what they eat when they come to the school. So for some of you who have a need to know what it is we're asking, there's a proposal here that was done by Dr. Ribori that has been forwarded to the Council of Great City Schools. They will be here conducting an on-site interview and answering these questions that he has proposed in here, directed by the three of us. and within 4 to 6 weeks, we will get a study that says this is how you do it. We then will have to determine if we want to do it. I've had people all over town say, why don't you all raise taxes since they're a problem? You can't raise taxes. We don't have the credibility to raise taxes right now, even go to the people. But if we do go, it'll be about things that will make a difference for these children, and you'll be able to see it. We hope within probably 3 months, we will have an answer to this question. Whether or not we can do it, we don't know yet. But we will know what it will take to do it. And that's the question, not how it costs, but how can it be done. So we hope that you will stay attentive. And if you have questions that you have about this process, you can ask me as they unfold. You can ask Mr. Sullivan or Ms. Adams. And I'm sure we'll all be able to tell you where it is in process, what's going on with it. And when we get it back, you will get exactly what we get. It will be presented here in a public context in the same manner that the RFP, not the RFP, but the, what is this thing? Proposal itself, asking the question is developed. So the attempt is to do this in such a way that is above reproach. It is completely open. There is no question what we're trying to do. I think we're trying to look at turning around, which I consider to be one of the fundamental mistakes made by Mr. Ribori in his attempts to basically downsize the school system. There are certain things you simply do not cut. And some of us feel this is one of them.